Why does your baby pause before reaching or laugh when you repeat a silly face? These are early signs of thinking in action. Hi, I'm Cherrick Gordon, a pediatric physical therapist, and I believe that the moment I lay my hands on a baby, something shifts, not just in their muscles, but in their brains. Through movement, I empower parents and caregivers to spark cognitive growth because movement builds minds. In today's episode, we're going to explore something truly exciting: how your baby begins to think, problem solve, and make sense of the world around them between the ages of 3 and 6 months old. We're going to look at key cognitive milestones, how they show up in everyday play, and most importantly, how you can help nurture those little brain sparks into big developmental gains. I remember I was working with a little girl and we were playing a game. She was only 5 months old, and we were playing with a toy that had these little pegs that you push into the holes of the toy. But here's the catch: one end of the peg was bigger than the other, and so it would only go in the hole one way. I showed her how to do it a few times and then I handed it to her. She tried to push the big end in, it didn't fit. Then she looked at the peg, looked at me, and she rotated it. She turned it so that the smaller end was down and pushed it into the hole. Then she looked right back up at me and she smiled as if to say, "See, I figured this out." That's problem solving in action. That's early thinking. At 5 months old, she was obviously precocious for her age, but that was remarkable to watch. So let's talk about what cognitive development will look like for a 3 to 6 month old. At this stage, your baby's brain is starting to put things together. They're beginning to process things like cause and effect. They're beginning to recognize patterns. They're beginning to remember what happens next and test their own thoughts through movement and repetition. This is the age where your baby starts becoming a mini scientist, trying things, watching their reaction, and then experimenting all over again. So, what are the major cognitive milestones that are going to happen during this 3 to 6 month period? Number one, you're going to have visual exploration. Your baby now follows objects with smooth tracking side to side and up and down. They recognize familiar faces and may start noticing new faces too. They begin studying toys, turning them, mounting them, shaking them, banging them. A quick tip: you could offer toys with different textures, shapes, and sounds. Let them lead the way. The second thing you're going to notice is your baby will start to have this early stages of something called object permanence. Your baby starts to realize that things exist, even when they're not in view. You're also going to begin to notice that your baby will look for things where they used to be or anticipate your face during peekaboo. You might even see them imitating you and bringing their hands towards their eyes as if they want to cover their own eyes during a game of peekaboo. Number three, cause and effect. Shake a rattle, it makes a noise. Drop a toy, it falls. Drop a toy from the table, mom picks it up, puts it back on the table. Drop the toy again, mom picks it up again, puts it back on the table again. These are all signs that your baby's brain is working. Tap the table, it echoes. These experiments will help to wire the brain for understanding consequences. Number four, imitation begins. Your baby may mimic facial expressions, sounds, and even gestures. These are all some fantastic signs that your baby is watching and learning. They're watching you constantly and they're learning through repetition. Number five, anticipation and memory. They start to recognize routines and show excitement before a bottle, a bath, or a game. This is early memory formation and it's foundational for learning. Let's talk about how to support cognitive growth. Hands-on strategies that you can use to help to enhance your baby's cognitive skills. One, play reverse peekaboo. Cover a toy with a cloth and let your baby uncover it. Or hide your face and wait for their reaction. This teaches object permanence and reward-based searching. Use rhythm and pause games. Sing a simple song and then pause dramatically before the last word. Let them look at you waiting for the punchline. This builds anticipation and memory. Offer problem solving toys. Use toys with cause and effect. Push a button, something pops up. Push it down, push the button again, it pops up again. Show them how, then pause and give them time to try it on their own to experiment with pushing. Narrate their process. You tried it this week. Oh, now you turned it around. Good thinking. Mirror play. Sit with your baby in front of a mirror. Smile, wave, make faces, then pause and let them respond. This helps with self awareness, social cognition, and imitation. Here are a couple of surprising things you might notice. Your baby gets quiet before acting. That pause is brain activity. They're actually thinking about what they're going to do next. They repeat silly games endlessly. Repetition wires the brain. It's how your baby is going to learn. They start laughing at things that shouldn't be funny. That's called cognitive dissonance. Babies love surprise patterns like fake sneezes or silly faces. Here's a parent empowerment tip. Follow your baby's lead. Your baby's curiosity is your best developmental guide. Allow the struggle moments when they're working on a task. Don't try to jump in too fast and help them to get to the end result. Use movement to spark thinking. Rolling, reaching, and grasping all activate cognitive circuits. Trust the process. Celebrate small wins like longer eye contact, repeated play, or trying something a new way. If you're enjoying this series, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment below with your baby's favorite thinking moment. A moment where your baby was pausing and actually working through something. What's the smartest thing your baby has done so far? I would love to hear it. Drop a comment below. In our next episode, we're going to dive into social emotional development from 3 to 6 months. How your baby bonds with you, reads emotions, and begins building the foundation for your relationship and other relationships moving forward. This is where emotional intelligence begins. You definitely don't want to miss that. The link is down in the bio.